Present you the history of the mill. Then I will show you how the mill can work with the water power. And finally I will show you the production of oil. So here in Veyssière we produce walnut, hazelnut and almond oil. That's our main activity today. So we know that there is a mill here in Veyssière since between the 12th and the 13th century, and we know that thanks to the stream that you have just in front of you. This stream actually was created by humans to establish a mill here. It's a derivation of the little stream that just flows after the car park, which is called the Vern. So they derivated the Vern to create a mill here. When there is no water anymore in the stream, we see some pieces of stone that are dated from the 13th century. So we know that there was a mill here at this period, but this mill was completely broken and rebuilt. The mill that you can see here is dated from the 16th century. It's a water mill. So unfortunately this summer was very dry. So we do not have enough reserve of water to use the water power to make the mill working currently. But in 1 month, starting in November or December, all the reserve of water will get back, and we will start again to produce the oil thanks to the water power. So right now it's just the electrical motor, that allow us to make all the machine working. But we have this reserve of water. So the reserve of water is made by these gates. We have 4 gates, 2 on the right side and 2 on the left side. This gate allows us to store the water when we want to store it, and then when we want to action the mill, we will open the gate, then the water will flow under the mill into a corridor, arrive into a tank, and on the bottom of this tank there is a wheel. Then the water will action the bottom of this millstone. We do not use anymore this millstone, but we could. This millstone is used for the making of wheat flour and corn flour. And so we have another one more turbine left that is just on the right after the stairs that I will show you. And then thanks to this turbine, with all the belt and all the connection that you see here, the water power can action all the machine that we need to produce the oil. Wheel there, so you are the same on the bottom of this tank. So have a look. I will open the water. You will see how it works. Here, we arrive into the corridor. Then more power to water. Then this water will action the wheel, and then the wheel action this axis here, and with all the belt and the connection, we can action everything in the mill and every machine that we need to produce the oil. Wow. At full power. So if you have a look here, so this is the water that flows under the wheel on the right side here, okay. And then it flows into the stream in front of the mill. Very cool. I just closed the gate, and you can stay here and just close the gate. are three main steps for the production of oil. First, we'll crush the nuts, then we'll obtain a paste, we'll heat it, and finally we will press it. Okay? So here is the crushing step. So we'll put between 25 and 40 kilo of nuts. When I say nuts, it's kernels. So meaning walnut without the shell, or hazelnut without the shell, or almond without the shell, because we produce mainly walnut, hazelnut, and almond oil. Okay. So here we will put between 25 and 40 kilo of nuts, because below 25 kilos we do not have enough raw materials to produce oil, and above 40 kilo we can't put more in the press at the end. 15. So here we will crush the nuts during 30 minutes for the walnut, and between 1 hour and 1 hour and a half for the hazelnut and the almond, because the hazelnut and the almond are harder than the walnut and less oily as well. Okay. So the goal of this step is to obtain a paste. You can see the paste here. Okay, so this is walnut paste. So once we see that the nuts are well crushed, we add between 1 and 2 liters of water to create a paste. Once the paste is ready, we collect it, we put it in the plastic tank here, and we go to the second step. So this is a big cast iron pan. So now we will heat the paste during 45 minutes approximately at 80 degrees. It is the most important step of the oil making for two reasons. The first one is that this is this step that gives to the oil its particular taste. You will have the tasting at the end of the tour. The oil has a kind of roasted taste, roasted almond or walnut or hazelnut taste. It is given by this step. All the savoir-faire that we have today remain in this step, because as I told you, we heat the paste during 45 minutes at 80 degrees, but we just see it by our eyes. I mean, we do not watch through our watch, or we do not manage the temperature. It's just that we see that the paste just gets browner and browner. So yeah, Julien will put the other canvas on the other side like this. So the goal is to put the paste inside and then wrap into the canvas. Then when the paste is wrapped, we'll add this piece of wood on the top, and then Samuel action the press. So he action the press, and the oil will flow from here, from this pipe to the inox tank. Okay? So this oil will put it on the inox tank here for 4 days to 5 days, because there is always some sediment inside. So it's like a decanting process. So the proportion of sediment is not, as you can see here, it's obviously less than this proportion. Here is approximately half to half. So we have a little bit of sediment inside that. So for decanting during 4 or 5 days, all the sediments will go on the bottom of the inox tank, and then we will filter the oil to extract all the sediment, and then we bottle it and you can consume it. Okay. So on another hand, there is a big cake. You can see it. It is a big cake of paste that remains of sustainable production, because we produce with the water and we use everything from the beginning to the end. So our environmental impact is kind of zero.
And so what are your goals in the future for this mill, and how can other people support your business and your family?
So we have two axes of development. The first one, I told you at the beginning, we want to develop our sales outside of France. So we start with the US, and we want to develop our sales in Asia and continue to promote the quality of our product. And on the other hand, we will invest in a new building just in front of the mill in order to be able to have more visitors. We will create a museum about the mill, about the history of the family, so hopefully we will have more and more visitors that will come.
Yeah.
So this is the walnut. So all oils are used for seasoning. It's not for frying or not for frying the elements, but yeah, really for seasoning. The walnut oil is especially good with salads, tomato, lentils. And you can use it for baking some cake. Instead of putting butter on the plate, you can use walnut oil or hazelnut oil or almond oil. It will give to your taste or cookies or whatever a very good and particular taste.
I can say that.
And then also walnut oil has a very high smoke point and heat point, much more so than olive oil. So if you need that higher heat point, walnut oil is.
And even more with the hazelnut one. And obviously they are very good for the health. Walnut oil is full of omega-3 and 6.
Keeping these type of oils. Now, I feel like a lot of people tend to store these type of oils inappropriately. Talk to me about the best way to store these and how long they keep and the best way to use them.
Okay, so the shelf life of the oil is 18 months, even more, but we have to put on the bottle 18 months. The best way to store it is just put it in a dark place, away from light and heat. That's it. So you can put it in the fridge if you want, or in your kitchen
pantry.
Just away from light and heat, because the UV can have a bad effect on the oil and oxide it. So that's it. For the consumption, as I introduced you at the beginning, it's just oil for seasoning, not for frying, but you can use it for seasoning for salads,